Welcome back. In this lesson, I'm going to cover the use of storytelling to support your child. This is a very powerful lesson for turning things around in your home. At the end, I'll walk through the action task for this module. Storytelling is an ancient tradition that has been used for thousands of years to teach lessons, share wisdom, entertain, and bring people together. Stories stick in our minds much better than lectures or nagging. They allow kids to see situations from an outside perspective in an engaging, non-confrontational way. This can be a powerful parenting tool for addressing behavioral issues. The concept is to make up a very short story, around 20 seconds long, about a child of the opposite gender of your child who is 1 year younger, who's exhibiting the exact negative behavior that needs to improve in your home. It's great to use the opposite parent. If your child is misbehaving with dad, make the story about a child misbehaving with their mother. Give the fictional child a name like Johnny if your child is a girl, or Jenny if your child is a boy. Let's say your 5-year-old daughter has been extremely loud and demanding when she wants something from you despite your efforts to teach polite requests. You would tell a story about Johnny, a 4-year-old boy who yells and makes incessant demands when he wants something from his dad. Here's the process. Tell the 20-second story, setting it in a familiar location like the park or grandma's house. 2, after telling the story, ask a question like, what should Johnny's dad do? Or how could Johnny ask nicely instead of yelling? The questions will engage your child's mind. The questions create suspense and make the story more interesting. These questions use the Socratic method, which may be one of the few ways that people learn, opening their mind to be curious and to create a space mentally for a new idea. Number 4, repeat the same basic story 4 to 5 more times over the next week or 2, but change the location each time to a place like the pool, a restaurant, the park. Hearing about Johnny's familiar but undesirable behavior may make your child think, I don't want to act like Johnny. Giving the character a different name and making them slightly younger provides distance. Keeping the gender opposite and the age younger can decrease defensiveness. Your child is then more likely to absorb the lesson about polite behavior. Asking questions and changing the story location maintain interest over multiple tellings. Repetition reinforces the lesson, and after 4 or 5 retellings, your child may start exhibiting the improved behavior. To increase engagement, you can act out the story like a play, or use props like salt and pepper shakers for the characters, or your fingers as puppets. You can use their stuffed animals or their action figures to act out the Johnny and Jenny stories. Children love this fun and will probably beg to participate in the storytelling. Getting older kids on board without storytelling can be hard, as they start to tune parents out as they get older. Remember in the Charlie Brown movie that the teacher was saying, wah, 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 but an entertaining, interactive story appeals to them more than lecturing. One way to tell a Johnny and Jenny story is to turn to another adult in the home, such as the grandmother, your partner, and tell them what Johnny and Jenny have been struggling with. Your child could overhear the story and learn how their behavior looks from the outside. Most children do not have the developmental ability to imagine how their behavior looks from the outside. Stories allow you to impart wisdom in a gentle, memorable, entertaining, and enjoyable way. They develop thinking skills as kids analyze events. You can act out the Johnny and Jenny stories to build social skills, creativity, and bonding. Johnny and Jenny tales provide an effective tool to address specific behavioral issues without power struggles. You illustrate the lesson through an engaging story, not by scolding. Kids internalize positive behaviors while their mind stays open and their defenses stay down. Over time, this storytelling approach nurtures closer relationships and raises more polite and more thoughtful children. This storytelling creates a fun family tradition of using creativity to teach life lessons. Mastering these skills builds confidence for parents and kids alike. To sum up, I covered using storytelling to guide and mentor your child. You can use objects as puppets, and you can act out your stories in a skit. Now I'm going to connect this lesson to the action task. The action task I want you to focus on for this module is creating your first Johnny and Jenny story to tell your child. You're going to choose a setting such as the park, switch to the opposite gender, make the child in the story a year younger, and switch which parent the child is interacting with. You can use the action task worksheet as the guide. Thank you and have a great one.